to see you here tonight. We're talking about some, let's see, some famous Skynyrd song. You know what it is? It's called Freebird, and I'm just going to say welcome to the session tonight. This is a very, very relaxed approach, a non-formal approach to the song. It's I've got another screen here so I can take a look at what's going on. If you have questions, there's a live chat that's here. You can jump on the live chat and ask any questions you like through this, anytime through this session. And we're just going to start. We're going to start right away with talking about the, basically the intro chord progression. And we'll probably just start simply, basic with like a one, the G chord. Hey, I see a party time rolling here. Who's that? We're starting out with just the G chord. And then we're moving down to the D chord. I like to play this second chord in the song like this. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the How to Play Freebird by Skynyrd. Just a quick live stream. I just wanted to review the song. I have not played the song for decades, and I've been hearing it all over the media, all over social media, and I just wanted to revisit the song just to be sure I can still play the thing. Plus, we wanted to talk about the super rare, the Plains Drifter slide here. I'll do a quick reveal on this in a minute, but this one happens to be my favorite glass slide. I had it custom made, a little while ago, and it's a really cool slide. So hopefully, if you don't have your slide with you on your person, we're going to be using a slide tonight. We'll be here for at least 1.5 hours. So if you have other friends, if you're here, you have other friends who you think might enjoy this, let's learn how to play Freebird. We're going to cover the, go ahead and share the link, share this feed with them if you don't mind. I do have a question. If you are here and looking at this video, I just want to be sure that you can indeed hear what I'm saying, and I don't want to get through the video and realize that nobody can hear anything. So if you do feel comfortable to just give me a little feedback, that would be appreciated. Also, to smash the like button if you see fit as we start to proceed through this process. So this is it's really simple. Michael. Hey, all right, great. And I see the channel icon there. That's great, the guitar icon. That means you're a channel member. So thank you very kindly. I certainly appreciate the love and the support, the kindness. These evening live streams, our morning ritual for guitar growth will be live streamed, and it will be after it's finished live streaming every 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the entire year of 2025. It's the every weekday morning. That will go to on demand, right? But live sessions like this, you could watch, the morning ritual, for example, you could go and watch at your leisure and go back and review the song and review the pieces of the session that you wanted to review and revisit. These are specific to channel members. So the idea is that if you're here live, love to hear love to have you here. And I'd love to field any questions that you might have. But I like that, huh? Funny. And field any questions that you might have. But after after we're finished here tonight, this will go to the channel, but it will be only available to channel members. So just keep an eye out if you'd like to see an actual video tutorial of Freebird. We can certainly provide that. But keep an eye out for that coming up in the near future. So without further ado, I'd like to just start by talking a little bit about chords. And the three chords that I've played this song for a long time, and we've all played this song for a long time, and we've certainly heard it for a long time. and then we play E minor twice, and then we walk up to F. I probably would play a big fat F here, and then the C, and then on up to D, and then what we do is, and then add that sus4. So we're going to talk quickly about this, but if you're here and you don't have your slide, go grab your slide, because we're going to be using our slides. Here's just a little tip right there. Oh, it's going to come out in a few minutes. So we're getting to the slide for sure. I just wanted to go over some, if you have questions about any of the chord fingerings that I'm using, any of the angles, I can change up angles, do close-ups and all of that stuff so that I can really help. We can just have some fun here. So we're starting with the G chord, the Bobby Dylan, the Mr. Dylan G. Has anybody seen that, what is the name of the new Dylan movie? No Direction Home, A Complete Unknown. Has anybody seen the new Dylan film? So we've got this, I've been wanting to see it. So it's G, and then the D chord, I'd like to try to get either, I'd like to get playing like the typical D chord that, Nuno Bettencourt would have used in Wholehearted. Or whatever. It's that same D chord that they were using in the Traveling Wilburys. Really cool. All of those songs that we know with D. Signs. So you could use that first version with the thumb wrapping around to the low E string on fret 2, if you want. That's a good one. In which case I would recommend using fingers 2, 1, and 3 to make that G chord happen. Otherwise, I might just check out the, the last 3 fingers, and then use this like, the D chord with the last 3 fingers. Because that turns the D chord into a movable shape, right? Similar to the way we use the A chord and then bring the A chord, or the E chord, for example. Play an E chord with the last 3 fingers, and then when you move it up a fret, you drag that nut with us, right? So that makes those full capo or bar chords. So those are fun to know. I'm just thinking if I use the last 3 fingers on the G chord, I can also make that a bar chord. It's not the most comfortable thing to grab in the kit, but it is certainly, it gives us access to those other, how many roads must a man walk down before or any number of Eagles tunes. So I'm using this G chord specifically for that reason, and then I can use the transition is a little bit challenging to go from the last 3 fingers to the last 3 fingers with that first finger on fret 2 on low E string. It is a little bit of a chore, right? But when we get to the E minor, we can use fingers 1 and 2 here. Let's see if we had any questions here. Or 5, 4, 2, 3, 2 shape. Let's see. 5, 4, 2, 3. Oh, 5, 4, 2. Oh, the C chord shape. Right. Gotcha. I think that's what you're making reference to. Giver, what's going on? Giver, nice to see you. Great to see you. Good evening, crew. We've got a morning live streamer, the morning ritual for guitar growth. A couple of those folks here. Great to see you guys. Great to see the gang, the crew, the fretboard family, for certain. Certainly appreciate it. And yes, on Close to the Edge. Oh, good. We're looking for some. Not yet, but wanna. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have have to pay more attention to these comments, I think. If you have comments, keep them firing, keep them coming, you know. But starting on A string. Okay. Fretboard fanatics, yeah, that's right. So we're just like fretboard fanatics, I like that. And then we've got that, so the G, the last three fingers, the, we could use that nice forward roll into a reverse roll. So we'd call this a combination roll. I love the lyrics, the first lyrics in this tune. I mean, as many times as we played it, I have professional friends, you know, some of us just don't want to play the song. We get asked to play it and we're like, yeah, we're too good to play this song. You know, we played it a million times or whatever. But it still is like an iconic tune. I remember seeing Fish play this one time at a concert and they just did it a cappella. And then Fishman, the drummer from the band Fish, did an iconic like vacuum cleaner solo. So if you haven't seen that yet, it's worth checking it out. So find it on YouTube if you can. It's a good one. So then we move from G, you know, to D with F sharp and bass to E minor, and we hang out on E minor for 2 bars, and then we move on up to the F bar chord, and then down to the C. We could use C with, you know, the C root note in the bass. Or we could use C with the G in the bass. And then D, D sus4. Or we could just use, you know, fingers. There's no rhyme or reason as to which fingering you're going to use. The only thing that really happens here is I'm thinking that there's a bit, if these are new chords for some of us, there's a fair bit of, you know, transitioning going on here that I could easily overlook. So I'm going to assume that you know these chords and that you know these forward rolls. Let's take a look at that forward roll, shall we? And then here's the G chord, right? The old funky G. It looks weird when you're playing it with your last 3 fingers. It kind of looks like, you know, the alien that sucks on your face in Sigourney Weaver films there. But it is just a really cool like forward roll, and then we go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And you can see that it's like a sewing machine. We're suturing our way through the picking sequence. And there's no other way to do this, I've found, to do it cleanly. To do it, you know, if you were going to record this guitar line, for example, and you wanted to get it super clean, there's no way. Like when you press record and you lay the guitar line down, as simple as it sounds, you play it, as soon as you press playback. If you're anything like me, you're like, I don't want to hear anything like that ever again. Don't ever do that to me. But we have to sort of figure out how to become happy. Become happy and joyful with the things that we produce on the guitar. So those are the things that the studio can teach us, or just recording ourselves with a voice memo app on the phone, on our iPhones or Android phones. Those are simple things to do, and we can listen back critically, and that's a really great way to improve the self, especially if we're trying to tackle some super clean, like right hand techniques. So I would think that we can just get through, you know, this da 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 da. And as soon as I press play, I realize after recording, I realized every single mistake that I ever made in my life just comes right and flashes right before my ears, and I'm thinking, that's terrifying. But I encourage you to do it because it's really good for the soul. And let's see, let's just check in on a couple comments here, okay? We're just hanging out, we're just taking it easy. We're going to get to the slide next. We've kind of covered the intro, I think, everything that we need from the intro, unless you have questions, which I'm going to check right now. So just give me 1 second. Sweet Home Alabama, yeah. It's the D triangle shape, but with the F sharp on the D string and the D on the A string. Oh, we can use that one too, sure. The guitar's a little out here. So, you raise a great point about that, don't you? Hey, if you're here, just give us a smash that like button for me, will you? Just give us a little smash on the smack that like button. So what we're talking about? So we have, that looks like aoxymo. I'm just going to say aoxymosa or whatever, but it's so the D chord he's talking about is like the like the fourth chord in like Stairway to Heaven, right? So where you have the D chord with the 3, the F sharp on the D string, and then open A string underneath it, right? So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to rearrange the entire song. Like, what if we just kept the A string as a pedal tone underneath the entire intro? So like, let's put a G note up. It doesn't really work, but it is kind of cool to think about. It is kind of cool to think about just kind of jamming an A note underneath all of that stuff. Finally let that A go, and you play all of the root notes of each chord. It becomes something else. It becomes something just like huge. It's like building of the tension with the A, So, we could... could offer change bass pathways if you wanted to. This is a really great song to explore that kind of work. So we could take a look at what if we had started with a G chord, a G triad, for example. The GBD. I got the GBDBs right here, and then we go down to, D with F sharp in the bass, which is basically voice leading. Moving from the G or the Do to the T, to the La in the bass. And then we have why don't we put the Sol of the flat 7, and then the root of the 4, and then the root of the 5. We could either go G, we could do G in the bass, so D with G in the bass, G with D in the bass. E minor with B in the bass. C with G in the bass, so we were taking the sort of the weight off of each chord. We can rearrange it completely. gotta get up to that D chord. So we're just thinking simple things. I'm thinking in terms of leading, voice leading, from that deep low G in the bass, because it's likely I'll be accompanying myself, and I'd like to have that. I'd like to be at least aware of being able to play that bass note in the lower, or the root note, or have that really deep bass note here. And that F sharp walks down to the root note of the E minor, which we played for 2 bars. And then that big hefty F, that big fat C moving up to the D. And then we can walk back up to the G, and then descend as well to the relative minor chord. Finger juggling, yeah. So it's just really a matter of finding our own pathways through the song. And I love some of some Tony Rice. William, now you got my blood sort of going now. You know exactly where I'm going. But I don't do a lot of bluegrass on this channel yet, but I sure would like to. If you wanted to help, just keep getting me excited about that, because I'm really working hard on bluegrass behind the scenes. So John Stewart, is this the John Stewart? What's going on, friend? How you doing? Great to see you tonight. Oh, hey, whoa, hey, what was that? That was the slide. That was the old, I don't know if you can see the decal on this. Don't leave your slide, your glass slide laying on this, on this flat surface to fall off, right? You can see the buffalo on this. This is something from the Plains Drifter that I only have a few of these left. And then a friend of mine, when Sting's band there, David Sanchez, I guess he was on the Born to Run album from Bruce Springsteen did that too. When he was up at the shop at my the conservatory, blah blah blah, I used to, previous lifetime, I had a small collection of these, and I've just found these again. So these are really cool. Get your glass slide out. Take good care of the glass slide. Hey, Sophia, great to see you here, and certainly happy that you're back. Oh, you got Robbie Smith in the house. John Stewart, smooth progression. Yesterday I discovered those shapes. E. Oh, I see you're using, yeah, good. It's the lowercase e for the high E string. If you do arpeggios on them, it's cool. I really like the way that you notate these things in the live chat. You're clearly an experienced live chatter, and we value those kinds of things here. So if you're not already aware, I do a live stream, a morning ritual for guitar growth every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's specifically designed for us to get breathing, tuning up. We don't tune. Bring your guitar. We'll tune together. Then we start on quality mechanical, chromatic style mechanical practicing and it's about an hour. And we usually reserve like the last, every 15 minutes we reserve time to stretch, right? Get the stretches going. We do finger stretches, and it's designed so that we can all make it through the chord chemistry series on my channel, Jason Carey Guitar, that we're working through. We're literally working through Mr. Ted Green's chord chemistry book. It's page by page, word by word, literally chord by chord. We're going through the whole book. So if you really want to dive off the deep end, into the deep end, that's a great series to get connected with. So maybe we'll see you over there too. It's free. These are free things here. So, but 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every weekday morning for the entire year of 2025. We have a banging live chat there. So it's really fun. It's chill. It's for some of us, but it's not for others. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you want to, if you're seeking to better the self, to improve the self through guitar practice. If you wanted to set some goals, if you wanted to do a world tour, prepare yourself to win some guitar competitions, you know, to up your personal game so that you can really have some fun around campfires this summer, and really become an entertainer, do some open mics. Maybe you're touring already, and it's just a maintenance thing for you, so that we like to do this stuff together. So we're doing this every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. Now, these slides are great. I want to talk a little bit about finger choice for the slide. This kind of works on my third finger, there are reasons I have slides for my third finger, and then there are reasons that I have slides for my fourth finger. This one is particular. It's specifically designed by Playing the Drifter for this, this particular fourth finger. It's the same. It's the length, all of the, you know, it's just a custom made piece of equipment. And I don't know what it takes to make one of these, but I cherish it and I'd hate for it to break. So when we set it down on a flat surface, I never let it lay down and roll, because I've broken so many glass slides by just letting it sit on a flat surface. It comes off the table and then it cracks, and then we cry, and it's like, man, and then your wife asks, why are you crying? So it's just set it like this, you know, or better yet, put it in the bag, stick it in the bag, make sure that it goes in there safely, pull the strings, stick it in your pocket, or put it away in the drawer or something. It's just those simple things, you know, when you have the things that you care about, maintenance it goes a long way for me, you know. So here we are, we're starting now. We can do this a couple ways. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Now, if you want to do this the easy way, let me know by smashing that like button. I'll give you a couple seconds while you're doing that. While you're thinking about easy way or the hard way, I'll just take a sip of my liquid here. It was a good one this morning, Sophia. Oh, it was a good one this morning. It was way over the top. I've been playing bluegrass guitar for 25 years. Oh, all right, William, I've got to check out your channel. Let's go to give William a look at his channel. Dan, I believe that I wish I could have been there. Yep, tomorrow. Great, I also play bluegrass. Oh, yeah. Right on. Fellow grasser, bitten by the bugs. Pick sack. Yeah, I've got one of those too. Great idea. I got my pick sack. It's made out of recycled denim material. I got a couple of lava glass picks, and you know, you kind of collect these things over time. Sophie, what do you play on? Yeah, let me see. Any questions for me? I just want to scan through this just for a minute. I appreciate your patience. So William, I play on so many different guitars. Good. It's a great way to spend an hour with coffee and great conversation and instruction. I'm surprised to see you guys up here. I figured getting up that early, I figured everybody would be in bed passed out by now. Hit the rack, catching some Z's. Slide guitar is just so fun. It's right now I have out the Road Series 2, but also every once in a while I'll pull out the 28. Yeah, got to get the 28 going for sure sometimes. I work banjo. I had a banjo. There's some banjo on a Rebirth album, a 2013 release of me playing a record called Rebirth, and the first track we wrote to support aplastic anemia, and it's called River. So if you can find it anywhere you listen to music. You can find it right here on YouTube, Jason J. Carey Rebirth album, and the first track is called River. And toward the end, there's some banjoing there it's pretty cool. It's not the claw hammer, or it's not like the Scruggs method, but it's still pretty cool. All right. Wish I had a D50. Yeah, did I? What do you play on? Mitchell. Oh yeah. Washburn at the. I love those. Those old cheap boxes. I say cheap boxes, but like the cheap box I have, like a $50 Stella I think it's like my favorite guitar. This is probably my favorite guitar because it was a gift and it's but it's I don't post videos. I don't post videos yet. You mean this is true? Okay. Bernard. You still never see. He's here. All right. It's Freebird and being taught by the master. It's worth staying up. Oh, you're a kind man. You are kind. You know how to endear a fellow guitar player. That's for sure. All right. I don't see any questions. So why don't we just start with how to address the G string. So I'm going to use my fingers. We'll talk a little bit about, do we have a preference on whether we use a pick or fingers for this particular melody? GD Dasher, good evening. Glad to have you on board. I don't get all hyped out of it. Sometimes I will if you guys get me all excited. I get giddy, but I do get giggly. But it's more like just hanging out and, hanging out in the parlor, just playing some tunes with some friends, you know what I mean? So if you don't have any preference on whether we use a pick or not, I think what I'm going to do is talk about both just quickly. All right, so here's the pick technique. I'm really just using this G string. And then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use this blade of my palm to choke out any strings below this side of the active string. And in this case, will be mostly active on the G and B strings. So I'm going to use the heel of my palm, the heel of my butt of my palm to try to choke out. Just rest, choke out, keep all of these strings from ringing. And then I'm also going to use other fingers, right? You'll see that other fingers are used to stop other strings because we'll hear the slide. Even if I place the fingers behind the slide, the friction of the slide moving on the guitar string set will activate the string. So I'd like to try to keep ancillary pitches from becoming active. So what I'm trying to do is, I'll give you the pick technique. I'm on fret 7. And you notice that, just imagine that if you're brand new to slide, just imagine that the pick, I'm pointing out with the pick, you can see where the string is cut at the fret right there on this 7th fret. All right, the string, when I press the string down, the string gets cut on the fret. So if I put the slide where I normally would fret the string in the middle of the fret, it's out of tune. So I have to be parallel directly over the fret with the slide in order to play in tune. And then if I don't you can hear, if I don't use muting agents behind the slide, you can hear both sides of the string are active. Which is a really interesting sound, but it's not the sound we're going for. So I'm going to use, we want to try to avoid laying the pick on any sort of angle. So we also want to try to remain like good posture, physical posture, but also if I start moving that slide this way, I'm gonna rattle on the frets. I'm gonna probably damage my slide and get my gear too. So I want to try to keep that slide parallel with the string set. I do. And perpendicular to the direction, or parallel with the strings, the direction of the fret markers. So here we go. So you are armed with enough information to be, And then that simple act of moving from fret number 7, before we move anywhere, it's a good idea. I like to get familiar with this kind of thing. Just trying to get away from the note and come back to the note so I can have a strengthen my tonal memory, my tonal understanding, and my spatial awareness, because now I'm not really working on that kind of, I'm not really working on fretting, and then position shifting. I'm working on my entire arm now is becoming like instead of tuning fine motor skill, now we're tuning like large or gross motor skill. So that muscle memory's got to come to us, and it's got to be developed. So I'm sliding now. I can twist the wrist like this, the same way I would do vibrato on the guitar, or I could kind of move the arm back and forth at a rate consistent with how I want that vibrato to feel. So I would start with 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe going down a half step, and then return to the place from whence I came. And then what we can do is start really just working on just tonicizing where we need to be. So here's fret 7. Play the fret, memorize the sound of the fret. And locate it with the slide. And then the same thing is going to happen. I'll play fret number 12 and then memorize that sound. The same way we would memorize a bend. We'd play that 8th fret for that G note on the B string, and then bend up to bend the string up until it sounds like that G note. All right, so now what we've got is we've got that beautiful 7th fret and 12th fret nailed down. So what we can do is slide up to that 12th fret. And it's a very satisfying, a very rewarding experience to get that in tune, to get there in tune and listen to all of those notes, observe all of those pitches in between as we glissade our way up the hill. So we address that long slur. Then we come back down and we readdress the sound. So it's big breath or yawn, and then just another breath to kind of get us, just to restate that note. So we do a half step, that F or F sharp, probably an F note where we pick up on 11th fret, and then descend down to 11, and we'll do a little vibrato there. And then we do this really cool, like, try to play the frets. The slide's got to rest on the string. If we press too hard, we'll hear all of the fretted tones as we slide. But if we just rest on the string and imagine it as if it's a portable fret. Ooh, we've got to stay sort of roughly in the middle of the string set too if we can, because we'll start getting, losing some of the strings and they'll start like ringing underneath us. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at any questions. We got a couple of nice conversations going on here. That's cool. Okay, all right. So is anybody playing along here? So are we getting anything out of this? So it's... Ooh. We want to make sure that we get those indexing. We want to index from one tone to the next. So if we can start by exercising the G major scale. And get that in tune, then we're good. You notice that I'm the right hand technique, or my picking hand technique is I'm literally choking all of the other strings except for the active string. You know, I'm using the edge of my thumb here, you know, just resting on the string set, using these fingers here, you know, whatever I need to do to get all of the other strings to not just to be stopped. Yeah, okay. All right. Can you play Breaking Bad theme? I don't do slide, LOL. Not gonna lie. No sense in lying. Yeah, that's right. I'm a little over my head with a slide, but I'm getting better. I understand that feeling, I do. I need to grab my slide. You will, Sophia, you will. All right, so I don't know where it is. Yep, I understand that feeling too. So it's just a really cool, you know, just a really great instrument to kind of explore. It's a portable fret that we can use to create some. So the rest of the melody, let me just break this other thing down for you. Oop. We want to be able to index that fretting hand to get to the tones that we need to get to, right? And then if we want to be slow or just kind of give us the laissez-faire to get there whenever we want, that's fine. But if we wanted to be a little bit more like in tune and on time, that's a cool thing to shoot for in my mind, right? So here's the first time where we're going to go in between strings. We're going to advance from... We're going to go over one set of strings. So we're going to actually arpeggiate a triad here. So we're starting on the B note on fret 4, and then we're jumping up to 4, 4, 5 on the G string, and then 6, 6, and then da 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 da, and then we slide off that 6, 5, 5, 5 on the B, G, and D string. So the C chord with the sus4, and you'll notice that my picking hands technique is stopping all of the other strings from ringing as we pass over them. Ooh. Now this is a really interesting thing to do, because once we get here, I'm using my heel. I just have a memory here that when I get to this note, this stopping point, the heel block, well, the heel block's under the neck, but when I get to the neck joint here, I know that if I angle my hand just a certain way, I can get to that D note here. Just by angling it. Right, so we have to find those landmarkers for ourselves on the instrument too. So this is a particularly tricky part right here, because I feel like I knee-jerk my way back to the 13th fret. I feel like I can easily knock that note out of tune. Oops. So I would practice that slowly a number of times. And then the only way I can program to get the right pitch is to get, oh, no, that's not it. Is to get there, you know, in a practice environment, slowly double check the fret to make sure that I'm still in tune. And then practice that distance. Practice plucking the note, stopping the note, changing the position, stop the note, change the position to the 14th fret on the G string, and then slide back up to 15 on the B string. Oh, and you can hear that we get excited sometimes and the slide comes off of the end of the guitar. And then, so that's kind of what we're looking for tonight. So there's a little bit of work that goes into that, and I really appreciate you being here for this tonight. So it certainly is a different approach to do this in the evening, and I hope you all had a wonderful day today, and I hope it was a highly productive day today for you, and I hope to see you all in the morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a morning ritual for guitar growth. William Metal, let's go step it. I'm in grass here. I need to grab my slime. Let's see. Did I miss anything over here? What's up, y'all from Russia? Darius, good morning. Yeah. Last year I saw him play this year at, let's see, Billy Strings. Yeah, that's right. Baby Come On Home by Solomon Burke. I'm not familiar with playing the song, but I really liked the request. I really enjoyed the request for sure, for certain. Songwriter, favorite is California Sober with him and Willie Nelson. Nice. First time hearing California Sober. All right. Thanks for breaking the song down. Get some sleep. Yeah, gotta get in the rack for certain. Yeah. So thanks again, everybody. Well, I'm not sure how many of us are still here. Looks like there might be 20. Maybe we can squeak a few more likes out of it. So if you're still here, go ahead and jam on that like button, or if you can find it in your lovely hearts to do that. Oh, see, I knew it. I knew we could get one more. I appreciate it. And Uncle Jason, I love that. It's funny you've been up with us that long. I remember the first time where that popped up. I forget who said it, but I don't know if it was you who said it, but that seems to be sticking. So that will be our inside joke. I'm not sure if anybody else knows what we're talking about, so you have to stick around, man, to keep that alive. Bluegrass or full G chord. It only lets me give one like. Oh, that's right, Mark. Yeah, I subbed and liked ya. William, thanks, man. Definitely check on. Well, definitely check on William's channel. Sounds like William's got some stuff going. I probably have seen it before, but I'm just me. It's my memory being a little funky, you know. Yeah. Any recommendations for songs for like bluegrass picking? Oh, here's one that I wrote a while ago. It's I don't know, there was one in 5, I think. This isn't it. There was one called Rolling Over Washington, I think. It's a really cool song, but this is not on any albums. It's not on any recordings I've released publicly, but so you're hearing this kind of the first time. So it's basically you're digging back for that Mixolydian thing. And then we're sliding, you know, we get that. That really fast kind of, I'm not really good at that cross-picking thing, but. But it kind of works on that. The riff is pretty much like this. Section is it's that C sus4 with the F in the bass. And then what is that next one? Oh, it's kind of a diminished sort of, or, you know, major 7/9, right? With a chromatic approach back to the G, to the D, which turns around to the D, and then the D with the D7 with F sharp in the bass, and then the D7 converts to an augmented with the augmented 5 in the bass, and then there's this really cool. Just really cool. Like, I like the open string thing. It's just like a really cool thing to do with bluegrass, especially with acoustic guitar. You know what I mean? That's just kind of some fun stuff, you know. Got a pile of those that I need to get on a record. I think it will come. But right now I'm working on a collaboration with the great songwriter Scott K. Fish. So if you haven't checked out Scott K. Fish's YouTube channel, so Scott's the old managing editor for Modern Drummer magazine. And we've been working a lot together, crafting standards. And we crafted a song called leave the main flag alone. We kind of changed the vote on that. We try to get like, whether we feel obligated or not, we try to write those, just get the song like dialed in, just get him. And he's just got so much great experience because he's like was good friends with the late great Mr. Neil Peart, and that whole scene. Charlie Watts from the Stones, and like drummer from Marshall Tucker's band. He's like connected to all those people, and he, of course, he talked to everybody, and has all these wonderful like. He introduced me to Mr. Lightfoot before he passed. He's great friends with Barry Keane, wonderful drummer and a musician, and just a good person to be involved with. So while I have some time to dedicate to that, we've been really focusing on putting an album together, and so that's kind of what we're doing. And I know it's super interesting to you, right? So what I'll do is I'll say, oh yeah. Oh yeah, some rockers for sure. Well, that's it for tonight, friends. So thank you so much for being here and helping to inspire each other to continue to grow over the span of 2025, and just to continue to dig down into what guitar practitioners do. We practice the guitar, and just thanks for being here to reassure each other that there is a high level of value in doing this kind of work. So thanks for being there. And oh, Wildwood Flower. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, amen, guys. Wildwood Flower. So that was Wildwood Flower. Was that the I think there's a 3 dominant in there, right? And then a 4 minor, a 3, 6 minor. So CQC. place to end. Good stuff, man. Great stuff. So many good things to do. Summertime. Wow. Oh, Clarence White. Yeah, there we go. This guitar is, if you're still here, I don't know if you're still here, it's a Taylor 420, but Summertime is the ba-da-da, so we start in the fa, da-da-da. That's the E. And then there's the hush, hush, baby, don't you cry. Yeah, I think I know the song. Yeah, good stuff for sure. Let's see. Wow, you would do a cover. Soulshine would be a good lesson on the chant. Soulshine, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm really looking for what people want to do. You know, where are the, so some of the things that I like to talk about, like the geek stuff. I get wicked geeky, so not everyone always likes to talk about that, but I'd like to talk about the geek stuff through the medium of what it is, you know, you're interested in discovering on your own. So maybe we can, you know, the song requests are certainly good, you know, where we're andragogy. We're not teaching young people, we're teaching, you know, mostly adults who are engaged in, you know, life and active. So we kind of have to focus on what it is we want to learn. So if you have certain areas of interest, those are definitely helpful for a person like me to hear about. You know, helps to really map out a path forward for not only me, and it helps the channel, but it also can help you at the same time, I guess. Wow, you would do a cover. You got the bluegrass fever. Oh man, I got bitten hard. Did you hear the story? I'll tell you the story sometime. Yeah, definitely souls do a cover. Oh yeah, okay. Summertime. All right, cool idea. All right. Well, I think that's me for the night. Certainly appreciate it. Once again, hey, let's try to close this down now this time. I think we got it this time. And I hope you guys are all well, and I hope you continue to be well. And I really appreciate you being here for this. It was very exciting, engaging. So see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a morning ritual for guitar growth. And we are committed. 2025 is our year. We are going to own it, and we're going to certainly pray for that anyway. And you have a great night. We'll see you guys soon again. And until we meet again, I wish you